Well, the latest development is really that the 33 local government have come out to declare support for the position of the governor and to say that they are going to opt to do the decision. Also, as we know, the Supreme Court is very clear in terms of what has been declared. The first is that no governor has the powers to replace elected local government chairman with caretaker committees. It also stated very clearly that local government without elected local government officials will not get allocation from the federation account. And finally, it also says that money should be given directly from the federation account to local government with elected chairman. And I think the bottom line is that the Supreme Court underscored the local government level as a third tier of government in Nigerian federal system, an issue that has been in contention in public debates, and you see people taking positions that suggest that they want local government to be completely under the purview of state government. This is not unexpected, given the fact that people are not happy with the way local governments were created under military rule, and they thought that the consolidation of the names of local government in the constitution is an effort to keep that arbitrary local government creation, which they think favor of some parts of the country, especially those with military officials in high position during those heydays of military. This is the policy around the Supreme Court decision. While I think that establishing local government as an autonomous level of government that is completely under the control of their communities is where we should go, I think that the decision of direct payment to local government from the federation account does not automatically guarantee that. And it is important for us to make this very clear. And we also need to look back to what happened under the Obasanjo regime, especially when he was paying federation account directly to local government, and what local government officials did with that money. When my colleague in the studio was talking about absentee chairman and absentee local government officials, he's probably also trying to dig back to what happened during that time, where you have local government chairmen who appear in the local government once in a month to share revenue from the federation account. They are absentee people who don't live in those local communities. And it is also that kind of behavior that characterizes the appointment of local government caretaker committees, who are not necessarily residents of local government areas, but they can claim indigenship of those local government, but are beholden to the state governor. So we have quite a number of messy issues that needed to be addressed before we can take local government back to those local communities, because the issue is not just about who controls local government between the federal government and the state government, but making local government part and parcel of the life of communities, so that local government will be owned by those communities, support the activities of governance within the local area, and ensure that local governments, both in terms of their vision, in terms of their program for those local communities, look up to those communities for ideas, for action, and those communities are part and parcel of the decision-making process, not just monitors of what goes on, but active participants in the decision-making process, and also in mobilizing resources to support activities at that level. So we talk in terms of achieving what I describe as local governments within the local government area. That should be the goal. And that cannot happen, as Izenwa said, without some kind of consensus among the levels of government. Because, as you know, the Constitution currently grants state government extensive political powers to oversee what goes on at local government level. So if the federal government does not negotiate with them, the decision of the Supreme Court might end up being meaningless. as you can see from what is already happening in Oyo State, for instance. So we need to negotiate this process. This is very similar to the offshore and onshore dichotomy that the Supreme Court decided on, which Obasanjo found that if it doesn't negotiate with those communities, it's not likely to be able to implement that Supreme Court judgment. So what he did was to put parties together to sit around the table and discuss what they think is best given the decision of the Supreme Court. This situation also requires that kind of negotiation dialogue with state government to be able to address that, because the states, governors, and their houses of assembly play a very vital role in local government, both in terms of elections and also in terms of constitutional amendments.